Hey, I'm Heather Prastansky, business performance coach who helps you shine brighter than the Vegas lights. And today I wanted to talk to you about the time trade dilemma. So, what is the trade dilemma? What I'm talking about here is when we go about pricing our products and services, we end up thinking about how much money we make per hour. And so that is fine if you are hiring employees and you are thinking about how much to pay them per hour and things like that. But when it comes to creating a life and business that is unbound, that means that you have to remove any sort of boundaries that you have and any sort of limitations that you have that keep you from creating this unbound life and business that keep you from really expanding. And the fact of the matter is that if you charge by the hour, or if you charge by the day, or if you charge by the year, or if you charge, by a time, the fact of the matter is that time is a limited resource. And so this limits your income potential, and it can really crush your profits. It can really crush your business. So this is perfectly normal that we think of this way, because if you think about it, when we were out getting our first job, it was always as a dollar per hour job, right? For most of us, we went out and we would, my first job was as a cashier in a grocery store. And before that, I delivered some papers. But really, as a cashier in a grocery store, and I was paid like $7.25 an hour or something like that. And it was a unionized job, and so you got so many cents per hour raise when you hit so many hours, et cetera, et cetera. And so everything was driven towards this dollar per hour range. And even when you get out, even if you're working on a salary, that is still a time constrained amount of money. So you're making a certain number for a year, right? And the year instead of the hour is your time constraint. And so we need to get out of this way of thinking when we're shifting into the sort of this CEO mentality, and when we're shifting into this entrepreneurial mindset. We need to get out of the time trade dilemma, because we have to start thinking in terms of value. So we have to start trading dollars for value instead of trading dollars for time. Now, a lot of people will still, when they think about when they're trading value, what they do is they sit down and they say, well, I'm going to be spending this many hours working with that person, and so how much is that worth to me? That right there is not the definition, right, of trading for value. What you're simply doing is you're still trading time, you're just packaging it. Right? Like you're just saying, well, my package is going to be so much, and so I'm going to make it this price because this is going to take me so many hours. And the problem with doing that is that you're still trading time for money, right? And so what we want to be looking at is how can we package our products and services in a way that is completely unbound. And so I'm going to look actually at my business. I work with a lot of coaches, and my business as an example, because I only have so many hours in a day. I only have so many people that I can coach during my week, right? Because there's only 2 afternoons a week that I coach. And so I need other time to create content. So I do that for 4 hours every single day. I need other time for doing things like guest expert appearances, for doing things like guest blogging, for getting my name out there, for doing marketing, for meeting with my team, for training my team. I need time to do sales calls. I need time to do networking. Like I need time to do all of these other things in my business. So I can only take on about 8 to 10 coaching clients at a time because I only work with them on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons. So if you think about that, you're kind of like, well, Heather, doesn't that mean that you are constrained? Well, when we look at this, right, we want to make sure that we are creating other avenues in our business of which we can scale. And so, yes, I can only work with 8 to 10 clients at a time one-on-one, but I also have a group program coming out where people will be able to work with me, and there will be really unlimited spaces within that, but we will limit, again, because of my time and because I like intimate settings. I'm an introvert and I don't like big events. We're going to have a very limited number of tickets to the live event if you want to join that. And so that is a way that we can scale our business. Another way is that I have some associate coaches coming on board. And so we will have different levels of which, you can work with an associate coach at a lower rate than you can work with me. And so it's still kind of getting access to me and my systems and the way that I coach my clients, because that is the way that I'm training my associate coaches to deliver this material. But it doesn't take up my time, right? So we have this way of sort of infinitely scaling our business without really limiting on, the packages and all of those sorts of things. And so the other piece of this is when you're actually putting together your package. So let's get back to the value, right, that you're putting in there. So I have to think about, what is the value of how I coach my clients, right? So the value of them living from this place of impossible and creating this unbound life, what is the value of them learning how to create 5-figure months or 6-figure years or 7-figure years or 8-figure years? One of my clients will be on track for an 8-figure year this year. So what is the value of that, right? It's definitely more than saying, well, I charge $100 an hour, $250, $1,000 an hour, right? There's a lot more value that's in there. And so you want to be thinking about that. And it should never go back to, well, I spend this much time with that client, right? That's more of the opportunity cost weight. If you read my blog last week, if you didn't, you can hop on over to heatherbristanskicoaching.com/blog. And there's like one on there. I just started blogging last week, so don't get too excited. But we talked a lot in that about the different concepts of pricing your products and services and what you should be looking at. Not one of them was looking at how much money you wanted to make per hour. And not one of them was looking at what your competitors charge, because none of that matters when it comes to pricing your product and service. And you literally can't price yourself out of the market if you're using this model. Okay, so definitely go on and check that out. But I wanted to talk to you about this time trade dilemma. I wanted to talk to you about this mindset shift that needs to happen in order for you to create this life and business that is unbound. I will be back to talk to you later on in the week, the next time that I want to do a video. And we're going to be talking a little bit this week about how anyone can learn to be an entrepreneur, how rich people make decisions. And we're also going to be talking about a little bit about time management. It's not so much time management. I don't really know the right word for that right now. I have an idea in my head, but it hasn't come out in words yet. So stay tuned for that. I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye.